Here is our today's topic, wavy curve method. This is also called the method of interval. Now see that as it is called the method of interval, so we need to know what are intervals. And a very simple definition of interval is that intervals are the subsets of a real line. Now let us take any 2 points on real line, say A and B, where B is greater than A. Now, now if you consider an interval from A to B, then the question is whether A is included or excluded, and same for B, whether B is included or excluded. So to answer this question, we divide interval into 4 categories. Number 1, closed interval. So this is denoted by A, B, and it means that x such that A is less or equals to x is less or equals to B. So this is called closed interval, and the closed interval is all those real values of x starting from A and it goes up to B. See that A is less or equals to x, less or equals to B. Next, number 2, open interval. We write like this, and the meaning is that x such that A is less than x is less than B. Number 3, now remember that open interval also written like this, A, B. Number 3, open close interval, that is open means first bracket and that is close like this, and the meaning of this interval is that A is less than x is less or equals to B. And number 4, close open interval, it's like this, A, B, and this one is x such that A is less or equals to x less than B. So in the first, see that in case of closed interval, both the points A and B are included. In the case of second interval, both the point A and B are excluded. In the case of third one, that is open close, A is excluded but B is included, and in the fourth case, A is included but B is excluded. Now the question is how we denote that whether the point A is included or not. Now see that here is the point A and here is the point B. Now if we make a solid dot on A, it implies that A is included in the interval. Now if we make a blank dot on the point B, this means that B is not included in the interval. Clear? A solid dot means the point A is included in the interval, that is x can assume the value A, you can see that less or equals to A, and a blank dot means x cannot assume the value B, so x can assume any value which is less than B. Remember that x can assume any value which is less than B. Now we have seen, already you have seen what are the 4 kinds of interval. Now remember that there are also interval whose one end is exactly defined and other end goes up to infinite. They are called infinite interval. For example, if we take a number A on the real line and we want to say that x is greater than A, that is all real values at the right of A is assumed by x. So we write x greater than a. So this interval is written as x such that a is less than x less than infinity. Clear? And if x is greater than equals to a, just here we put an equal to sign. Similarly, if we take a number b or a point b on the real line and we want to say that x is less than b. So how to denote the interval? This is that x such that minus infinity. See that at the left of b, so it goes up to minus infinity. So minus infinity less than x less or equals to b. So these are the two kinds of interval where one end is specified and other end goes extending up to either plus infinity or minus infinity. Now let us try to understand the process of Wavy curve or the method of Wavy curve with the help of an example. Now see that here we are given a rational polynomial and we want to see that where in the real line the expression is positive or equal to 0, that is greater than equals to 0, and by using we can also find where it's less than 0 or less or equals to 0. So the first process is that when the numerator of the expression is 0, it's called the 0 of the expression or the roots of the expression. Clear? When the numerator of the expression is 0, that is at, you can see the point 2, at the point 2 the numerator of the expression is 0. So 2 is called a 0 of the expression or a root of the expression, and where the denominator becomes 0, for example if you take x equals to 4, the denominator becomes 0. So this is called the pole of the expression. So the first step is draw the real line and mark the root and pole on the real line. So here we are drawing the, we have drawn the real line and the first one is the number 2. Let us suppose we have marked 2 over here. Second one is the number minus 1. So here is minus 1. Next one is the number half. So half must be somewhere here. Next number is minus 8. So let us suppose here is minus 8. Next number is 0. So here is the number 0. And next number is plus 4. So here is the number plus 4. And the last one is minus 3. So here is the number minus 3. So we have marked the root and poles on the real line. Now the next step is, we know that if there is a 0 in the denominator, then the value of the expression is undefined. So what we should do, so x cannot assume the pole values. Clearly x cannot assume the pole values. So who are the poles? 0. Here we are putting a blank dot. We have already seen that when x is not assuming any particular value, we put a blank dot on this particular value. Here it's 0. So 0 not possible, again 4 not possible, and minus 3 not possible. So what is the next step? Put a blank dot on the poles of the expression. Now let us determine the sign of the expression. Remember that at the maximum, right, at the right of 4, if you take the part of the real line, here any number is greater than 4. So what will happen? Greater than 4 minus 2, it's positive. Greater than 4 plus 1, positive. Greater than 4 minus 2, positive. Greater than 4 plus 8, positive. Even here if you see that greater than 4 minus 4, again this is positive. So if we take any value greater than 4, the whole expression becomes positive, provided that all the x's are of positive sign. Remember that at the right of the maximum value, that is the maximum value is 4, at the right of the maximum value, the value of the expression always positive, provided that all the x's are positive. See that this x is positive, this x is positive, this x is positive, and so on. So here we are putting a plus sign. Now we want to know what is the sign of the expression in its adjacent interval. To know this, you just check which number has separated the interval. So clearly we can see that 4 has separated the adjacent interval. Now see that from which factor 4 is coming. So 4 is coming from this factor. Clear? Now see that what is the power of this factor. If the power of the factor is even, then the sign will remain same, and if the power of the factor is odd, then the sign will change. Now see that 4 is separating. 4 is coming from the factor x minus 4, whose power is odd, and odd power means change. So it was plus and it will be minus. Next, who is separating? The number is 2. Who is separating the adjacent interval? The number is 2. 2 is coming from which factor? 2 is coming from this factor. Here the power of the factor is even. So even means no change. That means it was minus, it will remain minus. Clear? Then come to the next interval. Who is separating? Next adjacent interval. Who is separating? Half. Half is coming from which factor? X minus half. And what is the power of this factor? Odd. And odd means change. So what is the meaning of change? It was minus, it will be plus. So that is the meaning of odd. Next, who is separating? 0. 0 is coming from which factor? You can assume that this one is x minus 0 to the power 242. So 0 is separating and the power of the factor is 242, which is an even number. So even number means no change, and no change means it was plus and it will remain plus. Next come to the interval minus 1. Minus 1 is coming from this interval x plus 1 to the power 31. Clearly you have seen that the power is odd, and odd means change. And odd means change means it is plus and it will be minus. Sorry, next is minus 3. Minus 3 is coming from a factor whose power is again odd, and odd means change, so it is minus and it will be plus again. And next you see that the next number is minus 8, and what is minus 8 is coming from an factor whose power is even, and even means no change. So plus will remain plus. Even means no change, so plus will remain plus. Now we want to see that where the expression is 0 or greater than 0. Now you see that at the left of minus 8 the expression is greater than 0. Clear? So what you can write? Minus infinity to minus 8. Clear? Now see that again at the right of minus 8 the expression is greater than 0. Clear? So up to minus 3. And see that if it assumes the value 8, what will happen? The value of the expression will be 0, because 8 is coming from numerator and we are allowing the value of the expression is 0 over here. So we don't take two separate interval, we just attach these two interval and write like this: minus infinity to minus 3. And see that in minus 3 is a pole value, so we cannot put closed interval to minus 3, so we are writing like this. So first one, see that in the interval minus infinity to minus 8 it is positive, again from minus 8 to minus 3 it is positive, in between the point 8 the value of the expression is 0. So as we want to find where the expression is greater than equal to 0, so we include the point minus 8 in the interval, and as we include the point minus 8 in the interval, the both interval is to be written together and to be written like this: from minus infinity to minus 3. And since minus 3 is a pole value, we cannot put close sign over here, so minus infinity with an open bracket, union. Again you observe that where it is positive, negative and positive start from minus 1. Minus 1 is a root value, so we put a closed interval over minus 1 at the point minus 1, and it goes up to from minus 1 to 0, then from 0 to 2. But see that in between the point, in between minus 1 to half, there is a point 0. And what is the value of the expression at the point 0? At the point 0, the value of the expression is undefined because 0 is a pole of the expression. So we cannot include the value 0 in this interval -1 to half. So here we are separating the interval -1 to 0, union 0 to half. Again, half is coming from numerator, so we shall put a close bracket over here. Then again the expression is positive, negative, negative, again the expression is positive at the right of 4, and see that 4 is a value which is coming from the denominator. So clearly it's a pole, so we cannot put close bracket over here, and we write like this, 4 to infinity. So this is the part of the real line where the expression is positive. And at the same time, if we are asked the question when the expression is less than 0, not I am taking less or equal to 0, just I am taking less than 0. Now see that where it's first less than 0, positive, positive, -3 to -1, it's negative for the first time, and -3 is a pole. So what we are writing here is -3 to -1. -1 is the value of the root, clear? But if we take -1, the value of the expression will be 0. But see that here we are not allowing the value of the expression is 0 because we are allowing only less than 0. So although the value of the expression is defined as 0 in the point -1, but we do not include the point -1 and we put a open bracket over here at the point -1. Next, when the expression is negative, see that positive, positive, again it's negative. Negative starting from half to half to 2. So union half to 2. Both are the values of roots, and then 2 to 4, union 2 to 4. Remember that we cannot attach these two interval together because 2 is a value where the 2 is the point where the value of the expression is 0. But see that here we are not allowing the value of the expression is 0. So when we are not allowing the value of the expression is 0, that is we are not writing greater than equals to or less than equals to, every interval is to be denoted by a open bracket. And if it greater than equals to 0, then only we consider whether we should put a close bracket or an open bracket.